Daystar TV executive Josh Brown has been reviled on social media due to allegations he SA'd his 5-year-old niece known as Baby Lamb. But in an exclusive video you're about to see, Josh strikes back, asserting his innocence and accusing Jonathan and Suzy Lamb of conspiring to take him down. Josh is the husband of Rachel Lamb Brown, daughter of Daystar TV moguls Marcus and Joni Lamb. And Jonathan Lamb is Rachel's brother and the former vice president of Daystar TV. Following Marcus's untimely death in 2021, Joni Lamb assumed the lead of the organization. And just last year, Joni fired Jonathan. According to Josh, Jonathan and Suzy accused Josh of abusing Baby Lamb and Joni of covering it up in a vain attempt to take over the Christian TV network. As a result, Josh says his life has been turned upside down, and he's even had death threats.
This is my life we're dealing with over a job. They're using me to try and get a job. And that ship has sailed, and now they're Hail Mary. This is not right.
Josh also undermines the credibility of Jonathan and Rachel's other sibling, Rebecca Weiss, and her husband, J.W. Weiss. In a previous video published by the Roy's Report, J.W. and Rebecca told police of 2 separate times they saw Josh kiss Baby Lamb on the lips. Josh denies he ever did that and says about Rebecca,
She's got a lovely smile, but beware after that, because her story changes as well.
Josh also addresses the much-publicized incident where he's accused of following his niece into her bedroom to watch her undress. Interestingly, throughout the interview, Josh's lawyer does much of the interviewing instead of Colleyville, Texas police detective Nick Garcia, who's in the room.
So you never saw her?
Never saw her.
You never saw her say undress or changing dress or otherwise? Okay.
Nope. All I remember is just screaming, and I'm thinking, what the heck? Where is this coming from?
As reported previously, police closed the case regarding Baby Lamb's alleged abuse last May without filing any charges. They said Baby Lamb has not talked about her abuse nor identified her abuser, but if she does, they'll reopen the case. Still, many questions remain, and in this interview with Josh, recorded on March 14, 2025, he addresses them for the very first time. For your benefit, we've also inserted several clips from former police interviews where relevant.
Admit that.
All right. Well, this is the recording. We're going to turn it over, please.
You don't care if we record ourselves too, do you?
Absolutely not.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Make yourself comfortable.
This guy won't tell you he's a pretty nice guy.
Those tats look pretty mean, so.
Yeah, depends on how you ask. All right. Well, obviously I'll start with, you're not under arrest for anything, you're not detained. You can get up and leave at any time you want. If you need to go to the bathroom, right out that door, past the windows over there, the bathroom.
Thank you.
No problem. If you need a refill or something, I can get you something. So,
Appreciate it.
So I ordinarily would start with like a little preamble of everything, but I think you have a good idea of the entire situation. So I guess start with what are your thoughts on the entire thing right now?
It's infuriating.
Yeah.
This is absolutely ridiculous that somebody can make a claim like this, of this significance, with this severity, with no factual nothing, with no evidence, with no credibility whatsoever. Ruin a person's life and get away with it? Or best case scenario, they get proven wrong and then just wash your hands and, okay, good luck, Josh, with the rest of your life. I mean, I did not do anything. And these guys get to walk in and just spray their venom. And I have to suffer. Because God knows what happens behind their closed doors, but me, this is crazy. This is stuff you see on TV and you think that's craziness. That would never happen to me. Well, now I'm living that nightmare. So I am.
Well, Garcia, some of his anger erupts now has gone to a whole new level. He gets stalked at a gym, people taking pictures of him. He has a band in Australia he's an integral part of for years. they're now getting messages that, hey, y'all got your pedophile message? So let's let him ask some questions, okay?
Well, actually, and you mentioned the gym thing. So, attorney high school let me know about that on Saturday.
Okay.
So, I happened to be up here on Saturday. So I did a little bit of background on this guy. It's Nelson, I think his last name.
It was a woman that took the picture and uploaded it.
That's right, there was a thread on social media, like the vague threads on social media.
They weren't vague on social media. It was
Okay.
very specific. He's got a person that is sent after me and I believe Daystar's security, one of the Daystar security guys.
Shelley.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. And then the females went to a picture of you at the gym.
Yes.
Okay.
Saying, I can't believe they let this guy in here
That's right.
because there's childcare
And
facilities.
you've gone to that gym, how many years, how often are you there?
Well, I used to go to the one across the road, but they built a new Lifetime
Okay.
at Westlake.
Yeah.
And so I've got a bunch of friends that are over there and it's brand new. You know, it's kind of like a hotel type of setup. So this was my first day there by myself. And this woman posts this, you get a whole heap of hate. They're contacting family, they're contacting friends, they're contacting my employers,
You say they.
all these crazy bloggers, all these people incited by Jonathan and Suzy Lamb. It's pretty incredible that you can just say these wild things and then wash your hands and walk away.
Well, I wanted to give you an update on that whole thing. So, the guy making the posts online, social media, he's in Africa right now, but we looped in the FBI on that, so
Thank you.
they're looking at
Appreciate
it. So, I'm a little hindered on what I can do with somebody in Africa, but they aren't, so
Yeah.
not to my extent. So I just want to let you know about that. That was on my
Thank you.
list of things to tell you. So
Thanks.
we take every threat of violence pretty serious. So if you get any more or anything like that, you want to make a formal report, I'll be here to take a report for you. So.
Thank you. Do you have a card or anything?
Yeah, that was great.
Thank you.
Actually, I'll get you one. I get them talking in there. So, I guess, what do you know about you said they're spewing all this venom on the media. Like, what, are you watching everything? Or are you looking at everything?
No.
Okay.
I get some updates from people. I get stopped on the street and get updates from random people that I don't even know. And so it's like everywhere I go.
People on the streets, like in your neighborhood, or having a
Not
walk.
the neighborhood, people at church, people
People at Daystar too.
people at Daystar, people at Whole Foods. I'm so sorry, Josh, for what you're going through. It must be so horrible. You know, I saw this and they said this. I'm like,
Okay. So besides that social media thing and the picture of the gym, is there anything else going on with that stuff?
oh, yeah, I mean, they've, Laura, whatever her name is, she's now saying pedophile, and then she'll erase it, or edit it, sorry, and say alleged. But she'll put my picture up, and then she'll edit it and take my picture out. I mean, this is like, they're trying to assassinate me, character-wise. All based off Jonathan and Suzy's baseless accusations. Nothing happened.
What was your relationship like with them before all this stuff?
It started off great, and then unbeknownst to me, they thought I hated them or something, is some stuff they've said that they thought I didn't like them or something, and then, but they were still nice to my face, so I thought everything was okay and everything was great. And then we grew more distant, and then
So put a time frame on that. You came to the family, got married when? What year?
that's a good question.
You were there, I wasn't.
My wife's going to kill me if I don't remember.
Yeah, she's
We've been married around 8.5 years. So
back around 2016, 2017 is what we're
2016, 2015, 2014.
That's when we came into the family. So for his benefit, at that time, things seemed normal.
At that time, Jonathan said, and it's on record somewhere, that he couldn't think of anyone better for his sister, and that I was incredible. I would, during layovers, because I was living in Nashville, during layovers, we'd have lunch. You know, if I had like a 3-hour layover, we'd meet at a restaurant, we'd have lunch. One day he brought Israel, and Jonathan's not good with kids. And Israel was making a big mess across the table, and apparently I was great with it.
You were the one to straighten it out.
Well, not straightening it out, but just like it didn't faze me. It's just like, hey, you know, he's a kid. He's going to make a mess. It's okay, man. Like, you know, it's cool. You know, just let him be a kid. Like, it's like, wow, he's amazing.
And that was
Started out as a good relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Phenomenal relationship. And then it went south. I didn't know it was going south. My wife didn't know it was going south. But the thing is, Jonathan and Suzy changed their story all the time. In the media that I know of, I'm sure there's more, but in the media that I know of, they've changed their story 3 times regarding different false accusations that they've said against me. I mean, they go on record changing their story. So there are other stories I know will change as well. So whatever they've told you, they're probably going to, you know, their character, the fruit of their actions speaks louder than their words. Extortion and blackmail to their mother to try and get influence over Daystar. Threat of a religious discrimination lawsuit. And then now me, they're trying to use me. And I find it disgusting, pathetic, that they would try and use me to get to that. And I'm not going to put up with that. Yeah. And one day all this will be over. And when it is, there'll be consequences for them somewhere, somehow. They will have to deal with the consequences of their actions.
Why do you think that they're targeting you? Before we do that, your thing changed colors. Is it still recording?
Yes, thank you. I don't know what it's doing. No, I thought it goes to like a...
I saw it turn black then white.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that.
But why do you think they're targeting you?
You'd have to ask them. I can't assume. And I no longer assume anything with them except to expect the unexpected. I'm sure their reasons have changed several times.
When's the last time you actually talked to them? Or had any interaction with them?
Gosh, way last fall.
Yeah, last time at the... They moved into our neighborhood. They have a black Tesla, and there's a few black Teslas that drive around. And when I'm out the front of our house, me and my boys will wave to everyone in our neighborhood because that's the kind of people that we are. So maybe I waved at the wrong black Tesla. I don't know. But I wave, if, you know, as long as I'm not picking up a kid.
Do they have to go by your house to get out of the neighborhood?
No, they don't.
There's another way. There's another route out.
There's another route.
Okay.
Because yours is
Yes.
Okay. All right, and they're on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been working that street for 10 years, and
Oh, wow.
I still don't know how to pronounce someone's name in there. So.
Were you called when Suzy accused a builder of looking at her inappropriately? Were you the one that had to go out there and...
Actually, I had no interaction with anybody in your family until this. So.
Well, I apologize because, well, yeah.
Part of the job. I guess how's the rest of the family? You get along with them?
No. Jonathan and Rebecca, I've never really got along with them.
Okay.
Jonathan, I have probably a
Tell
less...
him which Jonathan.
Jonathan Weiss.
Okay.
I probably have less opinion of him than what he would want me to have. He projects a certain image, and I don't agree with it. It's not, well, you know, I just don't agree with it. And he goes behind my back a lot to try and undermine me wherever he can. And I wouldn't be surprised with anything with him either. Rebecca, we started off great. then things headed south. It's a long story, I can tell you more, but things headed south there. And, it's a shame. She's got a lovely smile, but beware after that, because her story changes as well, a little bit too, on record. And she's just not dependable. We have a live television show. If she turns up on time, everyone's cheering.
You said on record for Rebecca, you mean?
Yeah, she's been in different meetings at Daystar, and she said, remember when Suzy went off at that man at Whole Foods in Florida? And my wife was like, I forgot about that, yes. A week later, my wife posted saying, the whole family saw. And Rebecca called up Rachel screaming on the phone. I could hear, I was away, but I could hear someone screaming at my wife. I'm thinking, who's that? That was her screaming, saying, take down that Insta story. You take out my name. Rachel, my wife, is saying, put your name in. I said, the whole family, no, you don't speak for me. I don't even remember that incident. Rachel's like, you're the one that reminded me of that incident. So a week later, you're forgetting that you told me in front of other people that Suzy accused a stranger at Whole Foods for looking at her inappropriately or whatever it was. Yeah. So that Rebecca is very volatile, but she has a great smile.
Yeah, it's got to be tough working with family and all that stuff.
So you would not believe what I have had to endure for 4 years. And I'm so glad that they went public, because now they've thrown everything and they continue to throw. They've run out of things to throw. Now they're going to Australia and trying to get me fired from stuff there.
So you still have business in Australia?
Yes.
Okay. I guess off topic, but that flight is like 17 hours, right?
17 hours, yeah, a little over.
Gotcha.
Depends on the wind. It can be less or more.
Okay, yeah. That's just something I was thinking about earlier.
Day like today, you get there about 3 hours.
Depends if the wind's blowing the right way.
Yeah.
But I guess you said 4 years, it's been going on for 4 years. You're doing something.
Well, whenever we're at the beach in Florida,
Yeah.
and I was upstairs with Israel, my son, and was apparently getting changed behind me, and Jonathan Lamb walked in the room. That day, whenever that was, you see, this has done a number on me, detective. Like, I got a wife and kids, and for someone just to be able to say something.
Time out real quickly. He's a Colleyville detective. He can investigate crime in Colleyville, but he's heard all this story.
I do like perspective, though.
He probably hasn't heard your version, so unpack for him step by step what happened in Florida.
On this day?
Yes, just
Okay.
slow and
Let's start from the beginning.
So my son was around 1 at the time. He was teething, and you have your good days and your not so good days.
Oh, in case you need this.
I'm good, thank you. And
your son's name?
son's name is Judah. And he was fussy. So pick him up. And he was good for a little bit, and then you got to go outside, go into another room, whatnot. Leading up to that day, Israel would talk about his city view from his bed. It was a view of nothing, a street.
I'm interrupting here, but I'm sorry. He doesn't know second come here what you're talking about. Y'all have a house that the Lambs used to rent, a vacation home, a large home where each couple had their own little area and room and bathroom and kids and that sort of thing. So that's the setting, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we have actually 4 families in there together. 4 couples.
Yes.
Okay. And then the kids and the grandkids too.
Yes.
Okay, it's a complete family compound setting. Okay, go ahead.
And so Israel had been talking about his city view. We would talk about the beach view. Everyone would say about the better view. And I'd be like, no, Israel, you got a great view. You know, I used to live downtown, condo in Nashville, had a city view. It was awesome. So, you know, city view is great. Oh, Uncle Josh, come up and have a look. I'll come up one, you know, yes, but not now. So I kept on pushing it back, you know, yes, yes, not now. So finally, I've run out of things to do with Judah because he's just, you know, teething, not happy. And so, all right, Israel, how about you? Do you want to show me your city view? Oh yeah, that'd be great. You know, so we walk upstairs. Also comes upstairs. I've got my 1-year-old squiggly son wriggling around, not happy, but kind of interested now because he's, you know, I climb up on Israel's bed.
A bed to stretch over and look out the window.
To pull the blinds to look out the window. And then very shortly after that, Jonathan Lamb comes running up, his face is red, and he's screaming, "What are you doing in here? How dare you?" Blah, blah. And I'm like, what? Well, first of all, I'm kneeling on the bed like this, so, you know, what the heck? How dare you? I'm sorry. What, what? How could you be in here? I'm sorry. Like, what? He's like, my daughter's getting changed, and I'm like, really? Like,
so for his benefit, we're talking the 2021 time frame, give or take.
yes.
So it would be about 5 at that time.
I'm not sure.
Okay, he can do the calculation himself. But
This is in Miami Beach, Florida. Still screaming.
time out. Here I am taking this over, and I said I wouldn't do that. You're staring in the opposite direction. The girl's behind you, over your shoulder.
I didn't know where she was, but
You didn't know she's in the room.
I knew she came up with this, but I've got my son.
Okay, but for his benefit, y'all have actually taken pictures of that.
Yes.
At least your wife has.
Yep.
And we were looking the other day at about an 18 to 20 foot distance from where you are to where she is, all the way across this kid's room.
If what Jonathan Lamb says is true, because to this day, I don't know if she got changed or not.
So you never saw her?
Never saw
You
her.
never saw her instead of undressed or changing dress or otherwise? Okay.
Nope. All I remember is just screaming, and I'm thinking, what the heck? Where is this coming from? Like, unload. Like, and so I'm just apologizing. I'm like, I'm out of here, right? So, like, go down the stairs, and then I tell my wife, I'm like, something is really wrong with Jonathan. This is what happened. She's like, we need to go immediately and tell Dad and Mum. So we tell them, and then that is when I find out.
Marcus was alive at the time.
Yes, Marcus and Joni. And then that is when I find out, Detective, that they're being nice to my face. I think maybe the day before, we spent the whole day, him in my golf cart. Hey man, what's great? Like, and little did I know that for however long, Jonathan and Suzy had been thinking this stuff about me, projecting this stuff on me, and still being like acting like everything is great. Like not mind blowing.
Time out just a second. Let's finish off the story. Jonathan comes up. He's screaming. You look back over. You don't see her.
I still don't see her. I'm looking at the crazy guy going bonkers at me.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, like, you've lost your ever-loving mind. Like, where's this coming from? Like, what the heck? It is not uncommon for any of us to be in a room together, ever.
So how did all that end? Did y'all go downstairs, or how did it culminate?
So Rachel spoke to her parents, and then they called a family meeting in the basement. And it was then that I found out Jonathan and Rebecca in that meeting acted all surprised. Like, little did I know that they, according to Jonathan and Suzy's one of many blogger interviews and, all that stuff, that they'd been all, talking and trying to paint this picture of me, which is absolutely not true.
You mean you say they've all been talking? You're talking about
Apparently,
two couples.
Apparently, because I don't. Jonathan and Suzy are great at taking this much truth and building a lie around it. So yes, I did go upstairs. Yes, I was there. But did I? Oh, so their story in the media has changed 3 times. Do you want to know how it's changed?
Sure.
So apparently, once again, I've not read the articles. I've not watched the
You just know what they
videos.
said.
I've just been told by people. So, I mean, if I'm going on record saying this, I'm saying that I have not heard them say it. I've just been told that this is what they've said. That I saw, allegedly, apparently, I saw her going upstairs and I followed her up. And we were alone.
That's version 1.
Version 1.
Okay.
And no one else was in the room, and that I was caught looking at her as she got changed. Version 2, a couple of weeks later. Their words. We thought it was a non-factor to mention that the 8-year-old brother was also there. And he being me, was holding
Israel.
the 8-year-old brother, Israel, and I was holding my son, Judah.
We thought it was a non-factor to mention. In other words, we overlooked mentioning it because it just wasn't all that important.
Oh, it paints a completely different picture.
Okay.
Third one, apparently, I think this one was Dallas Morning News, where Jonathan says, everything happened so quickly that I wasn't even sure if he was even looking at her. So that's a real different story, starting from I followed someone upstairs into a dark room by myself, to there were 2 other people in the room, one of whom was 8 years old and more than able to say, Daddy, Mummy, or Joni or Marcus, Moni or Papa or Poppy. Something bad happened, or whatever. And holding my 1-year-old son to now, well, we're not even sure if he was looking. This is the craziness, detective, of these stories. Like they're just. It's unfair. And there's no repercussions for them right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out in the media,
A lot.
and way too much to keep track of.
So what should I do? As I didn't do anything.
Well, we're just gonna go along with this whole thing, and he can guide you the best he can and stuff. And but just continue, and he's gonna be your best resource for you right now.
He's heard snapshots of this stuff, but there was another instant in a shower the year before, the Florida vacation.
Football.
Different home.
Yes.
Okay. And I have not a clue what version he heard. And of course, he's a specialist at investigating crime in Florida. That's all he does is look at Florida.
Never been there either.
I used to love being in Florida.
This is our joke, but he's had to listen about it. But I think it's important that maybe he hear what you remember about that and how many doors she came through while you were taking your private frickin' shower.
Yeah. So to set this up, my wife was pregnant. There was one bedroom on the ground floor. It was the only bathroom on the ground floor. It was 2020, I believe. And I wanted to be at the birth of my child. And back then, if the partner or whoever had COVID, you can't be anywhere near it, and all that kind of stuff. And so I was very vigilant about, hey, we need to have some space. So I asked Joni if everyone could use their own bathrooms throughout the house. That means, they would have to walk upstairs to go to their bathroom. She said yes, she told everyone it was fine. Then I noticed the door from our bathroom to the hallway bathroom, and then hallway, and then our bedroom's here. So you could enter into the bedroom, then through another door into the bathroom, or you could go straight in the door to the bathroom. This door, it wouldn't lock. So I got like a table and stuff to jam up against that door and put stuff on it so nobody could enter through that. So you had to come in through the bedroom door to get in to the bathroom. So I was taking a shower, and then I immediately turned around and I said, "Hey, you can't be in here. Please leave." And that was it. Immediately, I went to go to Suzy. Actually, Mark, I never thought of this until just now. When I came out, she was standing right there.
Suzy?
Suzy, yeah, I didn't have to go looking for her. She was in the hallway right outside my bedroom. There was nowhere to be found, she wasn't in my view, but Suzy was right here. And I came out, I was like, "Oh, Suzy, this just happened." And I told her, was walking in there. I don't even know if she saw anything or whatever, but I immediately turned and I asked her to leave. And she's like, "Oh, that naughty girl, she knows that she shouldn't have been in there. Da, 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 da." And then she laughed and she said, "You didn't even have to tell me. Ha, 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 ha. Oh, they're outside. Do you want to go and play with them?" So that's the other. That was the first thing that I can think of that.
That was 2020.
2020, yeah. Yeah, Suzy's a slippery
Our
one.
upstairs city view window was, we think, 2021.
Yeah,
The next summer sometime, okay. And he's the law enforcement guy, not me, but you have heard that they've also spewed some venom out about some sleepover at your house with the kids. And
it never happened.
Time out. What never happened, that they never slept over, or you never touched, or both? You follow what I just asked?
Never touched her in an inappropriate way, ever. Those children have never spent the night at me and my wife's house. I have never spent the night at their house. However, Suzy did talk about them coming over and spending the night at our house. It never happened though. It was always something that she would, not a lot, but mention. Suzy's got a lot to answer for.
You said she mentioned it, like you mean talking about the media stuff.
No, she, back in the day, would be like, "Oh yeah, that would be a great idea. You should do a sleepover." The sleepover never happened. Never happened.
Okay. Circling back to 2021, you said there's a family meeting.
Yep.
Who was all in that family meeting?
Marcus, Joni, Rachel, my wife, Jonathan, Suzy, Jonathan Weiss, Rebecca Weiss. I believe that was everybody.
Like, what was?
It was very traumatic for me because I had gone from being the favorite uncle, not knowing any of this craziness, to now being accused of trying to look at someone getting changed.
He's asking about the family meeting.
Yeah. So like,
Where was it? Who was there? What was discussed?
It was in maybe the basement, but it's not a basement, but it,
Was it like a common area?
like a games room. On the same level, I believe, as the garage. But, I don't play pool. I believe it had a pool table. I don't play pool. I'm terrible at it. It bores me. And it has, that other game that you throw stuff down along.
Shuffleboard?
I think that might be it. That's an American game.
It's a game room downstairs there.
Yeah.
okay.
And so we had it there, and it was like my world got shattered that day, detective. It was like getting punched in the back of your head with no warning.
So what was exactly discussed in there? Like, because I think you said that because after that incident at the City View thing with Israel in the room.
And my son Judah.
Yeah, and your son Judah. But like, what was discussed in that meeting?
Downstairs, I don't remember a lot of it because I was crying a lot because I couldn't believe that anyone would even think, let alone say, like, oh, you know, like we don't feel comfortable with him anymore. You know, he was upstairs while she was getting changed, and I was thinking, what? Like, I didn't even see her getting changed. I mean, it was just like a shock to the system, like so foreign to me, and it was just like the whole world was just like.
So when you, somebody usually kind of directs the discussion, and then you sometimes sort of reach a conclusion of going forward, we're going to do this, this, and this. If that's truly a family meeting, and somehow I have a mental picture of Marcus probably leading this family meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm probably putting more than I know into this, but I would think Marcus would listen to the various representations and then guide it towards of treat each other with more respect or be more something. That's what he's asking. What was the end game in the meeting?
The end game was for Denise Boggs to counsel everybody and that we would submit to her authority because she is apparently, you know, had great success in getting to truth and getting to fix, you know, issues.
Yeah.
And she has changed her story a lot. I found out she wasn't licensed, so that means apparently there's no recourse professionally for her to say whatever she wants to try and save her own skin. And so she's been talking to a bunch of people. But that was only after she stopped, after Joni was like, hang on a second, like this is, like, what are you actually doing? Like, you know, you're not getting to anything. Like, all you're doing is just, I don't know what she said, but it's like, what's the roadmap here? Like we're just continuing to talk about what? What are we talking about? What happened? What's the issue? Let's get to the bottom of it.
Are you talking about, was she doing like, Denise, was she doing like group sessions or something?
She was doing group sessions and individual sessions. I was required at the drop of a hat to fly out to North Carolina with my family. Rachel was pumping. Do you have children? Did your wife nurse or pump or?
A little bit both.
So
I know you're struggling.
my wife was pumping every 2 hours. She's pumping on the plane, pumping walking through the airport, pumping in the rental car to drive however many hours it is into the, you know. I was told to do whatever's requested and required. So I went out there and, you know, from like, it was terrible. It was terrible. It was like all day and up till late at night. And then in her words, Denise's words, she's like, there's nothing here. Oh, do you know what happened when she asked, Jonathan and Suzy to go out with their children? Denise went to check on the kids and got changed in front of her. Denise opened the door. Denise told me this. Denise told me and my wife this. Denise opened the door, walked in. So Denise tells me this, and I said, Denise, you need all this counselling as well because you're, you know, apparently you saw something. I actually didn't. My back was turned. To this day, I don't even know if it was true that she was getting changed, but you actually saw her get changed. She's like, oh, well, this is, you know, this shows a lack of boundaries for the children and parenting and this and that. And, you know, I've never had children so undisciplined in my house. They moved all my antiques around, and they don't have boundaries, and and now she's flipped. Like she's flip-flopping. I can't speak for her, but I can tell you what she told me.
I guess, what is Denise doing now? She's not with Daystar anymore, is she?
No.
Okay.
Now, Denise is trying to make a career off this, saying that she can bring reconciliation. Oh, she flew out here to issue, her words, issue family reconciliation.
For you guys?
For us, yeah. Because it was all over. Detective, in that meeting.
When was this meeting?
This meeting would have been maybe August.
2024?
No,
2023.
2021.
You're talking about the meeting with Denise?
No, we've had many meetings with
Okay.
Denise. Denise has made a lot of money in this. It's apparently quite profitable. So Florida, Miami Beach, I believe it was sometime in July. This is sometime, I believe, in August. Could be different, but it's around that time. It's in summer. Within that time, we fly there, she flies here, all that stuff back and forth. Then she comes to issue family reconciliation. And literally, my wife, we're all sharing grievances. So this is after like 2 or 3 days of everything. I mean, I've been emotionally raped and abused by this woman. Let's go back to your family. Let's go back to your childhood. Let's do this. Let's do that. Have you ever watched porn? Do you still watch porn? Like all this. Have you ever looked at another lady? As you're walking down the street. Have you ever cheated? Have you ever done this? It's like craziness. And but anyway, according to Denise, it's time for family reconciliation because Josh didn't do anything. And what they previously said is based on nothing. Nothing. No evidence, no credibility, nothing. So it's time for family reconciliation. We all need to move along. And my wife, Jonathan, was saying, how, he's going to be president and all of this, and, he feels like Rachel, doesn't accept that. And Rachel said, Jonathan, I don't want to become the president of Daystar. That's a lot of responsibility. I just want to do my thing and stay to myself. Everyone's, let me keep to my lane. Mm-hmm. The next thing Jonathan says shortly after is, Josh, I'm so sorry for putting you through all of this. I'm so sorry. He starts crying. He asks if he can hug me. Well, he doesn't ask, he just gets up and we hug. He sobs on my shoulder. And then he asks if he can pray for me. And he prays for me. And something on the inside was like, this isn't over. And then the other thing on the inside of me was, how is Rachel saying she doesn't want to become president got anything to do with your previous assumptions and drawing really trying to join dots that are not there about me? What does that have to do with anything? Why so quickly? Or just to be good? And so I never really accepted that that he was doing it. It was almost like too coincidental.
Okay. This family reconciliation, who all was there? Was it just you and Rachel?
Marcus, at this particular one, it was Denise, my wife Rachel, Jonathan and Suzy.
Okay.
And then we all got together as a family group with everyone else, either later that day or the next day. I don't know. Denise has been out here so many days,
Where does Debbie come in?
Debbie was recommended by Denise to interview me. I believe it's called a forensic something.
Okay.
And I said, fine, let's do it. And And she's like, well, Josh, you do know that this person's job is to put people away if they're guilty. I was like, great. I've got nothing to hide. Like, let's, the more we can do to establish fact from fiction, the better. And so she had her come. I said, do you want just me? Or would you like Rachel in it as well? Denise said, she'll let us know. Denise said, you both. So we both were interviewed. And at the end of it, Debbie said, it sounds like this is a big family feud, fueled by competition and jealousy. And there's, from what she said at the time, there's nothing here. So we're good. I'm sorry, Josh, you've had to go through this. And then Denise walks her out to the car, comes back, and I say, can I have that in writing, please? She's like, sure, I'll ask her for writing. She shouldn't have a problem with that. I don't get it. And then a short time later, I follow up. And she's like, I'll follow up with her. And she's like, oh, no. She's not going to put it in writing unless you fly back out and meet with her again and sign some forms and all that. I was like, okay, let's do it. And she's like, no, I advise not to because, quote unquote, it's all under the blood of Jesus. And by you going back to that...
Who said that?
Denise.
Okay.
By you going back, you're going to stir things up and you're going to make things worse. Everyone has agreed nothing happened. You've already had family reconciliation. Josh, you're being paranoid. You need to let it go. You don't need it in writing. This is never coming up again. And on the inside, I'm like, I was in high school. I learned that if I'm going to say something, I can put it in writing. Why? Something's not right here. Something's not right. And Denise did not like it when I said that. I was like, I've been transparent. I've done everything that's required, and now you're saying don't go back, it'll make it worse. But I want it in writing. And she's like, trust me, this is never coming up again. And look where we are now, detective.
Was this a conversation over phone or email?
There wasn't email because Denise doesn't really email except for when she sent the secret email to try and throw Joni under the bus. Yeah, I think that would have been on the phone. Actually, I'm positive that was on the phone, yeah.
What's the secret email?
The secret email was to set it up. Our second son, Noah, my wife was having the baby shower.
I was thinking something more extravagant than baby shower, but...
No, when my wife does something, she does it well. She's very detailed.
I can only imagine.
And so people fly in from everywhere for it. And Denise flew in with one of her daughters, who's a lot older than me. And it was great. And then shortly after, we get an email, confidential, whatnot. And I couldn't believe the email. The email's like, I'm concerned for Joni. She shouldn't be getting married to Doug. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. And throwing Dr. Doug under the bus, throwing Joni under the bus. And you guys need to rally together and stop this marriage or whatever. I can show you the email if you want. Probably still got it.
I'm kind of curious who it was.
And Rachel and I thought, this woman's throwing everything away for this. Like, what a wonderful woman. Like, she really believes this. Like, out of nowhere, she's just doing a Hail Mary. Well, little did we know. Oh, and then we asked Jonathan, Suzy, did you get the email as well? Yeah. Because I think we were all CC'd on it together. I'm not sure if it was individual, I'm not sure. But, and they pretended like they hadn't talked to Denise. Little did I know that somehow they reconnected at our baby shower. And they were making us believe that Denise was doing this on her own accord. Because you got to remember, detective, before all the accusations about me on round 2, publicly, it was religious discrimination, threat of legal religious discrimination lawsuit. That didn't work. Then the next one was blackmail and extortion in an email. So he's trying to get daddy's job, and mummy's staying in it. Mummy needs to move away, so he can get it. Mummy ain't going anywhere, and so he then, or they, used Denise to try and get us to rally together. So then we all get together and we're like, okay, Jonathan, we're all together, lock arms. And then eventually the truth always comes out, and the longer things happen, the more we find out. And we were played, and I apologised to Joni. And I said, you can marry whoever you want. I'm sorry for being part of trying to stop you getting married to Dr. Doug. And by the way, Dr. Doug's been awesome.
Let's let him ask some questions. We're kind of rambling.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I've got 4 years or 3.5 years of pent up.
Got it.
I'm sure it's cathartic a little bit for you, but all right. So I'm gonna get a little harder on the questions. Ready? Break or anything? Okay. So going back to the thing in Florida, hypothetically, why would anybody say they saw you and naked upstairs?
Me naked? That is a lie. I want to know who said that.
Israel saltó del agua y dijo,
from the water.
¿Qué cree que pasó?
What, you're not gonna believe what happened.
Encontraron a Josh y a encuadrados allá arriba.
They found them naked upstairs.
La niña Josh.
No, they found Josh
Entonces,
and
me quedé,
naked
what?
upstairs. And my reaction was, what?
I can't tell you at this moment, but I'm just curious. Just a question, like I said, they're gonna get a little harder.
Yeah.
So
Well, this is so infuriating. This is the first I've heard of this.
Well, you don't know why somebody said it.
Definitely not.
You can speculate that they were trying to gain leverage by saying something.
Definitely.
If that be the case. And first off, he's not telling you who said that, but I think got a pretty good idea who the source is. So as we said,
Sorry, I respect your position. I'm not.
No, it's no worries. I've had people angry with me for all kinds of stuff, so and I don't think you're angry at me. So
I'm not angry at you, no.
okay. No offense taken. You don't have to apologize.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
So your answer to his position, his question first off was not naked, unclothed in any respect.
Definitely not.
Correct, okay.
Definitely not. Now, we are at a beach house, so I have been in board shorts with no shirt on. Everybody has been.
Yeah.
So there was that, which is not uncommon, but naked, definitely not.
Okay. And then his question was posed why you don't know, but you could speculate why somebody might say that.
You're asking why I don't know?
That was his question.
Not why you don't know. Like, would you, like you said, would there be any reason why anybody would say that? Like, your opinion, whatever.
To try and peddle, well, I don't want to speak for other people, but I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. Well, I'm here for your opinion and how you feel about everything. That's what we started off with how you feel about everything. So, I guess you think it's somebody just trying to throw mud all over you or something?
Yes.
Okay. All right. information for talking about. I'm sure that people have mentioned the letter. You heard anything about that?
That apparently Jonathan Weiss wrote. I heard about that from someone from these bloggers. Once again, news to me.
So in that information led to people witnessing you kissing in the green room. So the green room was like that break room at Daystar, I guess.
Well, we have a lot of green rooms, but they'd be probably referring to the family green room.
Okay.
Yeah.
At any point, have you ever kissed?
Have I ever kissed her? I've probably kissed her on the head or the cheek because up until this craziness, you play with kids,
Well, okay, we had a discussion earlier about the issue of kissing this child on the lips.
Yeah, definitely not. I have not kissed her on the lips.
And when you're kissing on the head or cheek, you're doing so in the presence of other adults.
Of course.
You're doing so as a tease or a little game with a child.
game.
Okay. And probably many times.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm not trying to speculate or put words in your mouth or anything like that. And not trying to sound disgusting, but it was as a, I guess a,
Passionate kiss.
no, I don't want to say passionate kiss, but like a, almost like a fatherly, like affectionate thing, not an intimate thing, correct? Like your intention was more affectionate, like, hey, little child, versus an intimate sexual kind of thing.
I'm answering for it. Probably more playful.
Playful.
When he said, he used the word affectionate, you're not adopting that word, are you?
No, and I'm not her father either.
Okay.
No, yeah, I'm just being like,
Okay.
I didn't really have a better word than affectionate, but you got it.
Playful.
So yeah, okay.
Like,
Certainly not intimate.
no.
Certainly not affectionate. Playful.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
What kind of stuff was alarming?
The behavior of Josh towards, like, I saw him, force himself on her to kiss her in the green room setting on 2 separate occasions. And both time I was just like, ooh, just why is he doing that? And I just went and told his parents, Jonathan and Suzy, I was like, hey, just so you know, I saw this. Well, one time Suzy was sitting there.
She was there.
And I was like going like this, like, Suzy.
We were like, hey.
She was like, double the distance from where you are to me. And I was like, and she was kind of pretending like, I don't know what that was. She was pretending like
she wouldn't say anything.
she couldn't see me, which I was doing this. I'm not small,
Yeah.
and it's not a big room. So, I don't know what that was, but that was one instance where I saw him like grab her and her trying to shrivel, kind of, how kids like, and him force a mouth-to-mouth kiss. And then a separate occasion, I was very close. I was like, this distance, I was sitting at a fridge with my back, and he was coloring at the table, and he came in and was asking for a kiss, kind of like this, and he grabbed her by the face and did a lip kiss on her there. And that was the one that I was close. When you're like 2 feet away from it, I wanted to freak out. It was weird,
It's weird, like a not blood uncle.
Yeah,
With someone's
Exactly.
kid. Okay, I get you.
and even just anyone, I don't know. I wouldn't kiss.
We're
I
very
kiss my
protective
kids, but-
people. We're protective people. We love our knees.
Yeah.
Okay. What if somebody had said that they had witnessed you kissing her on the neck and the face in a pool?
In a pool?
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay. So again, these are just I'm just asking these questions, but
I love people to ask me that. I'd like these people who are cloak and daggers to ask me, why is this only coming up now? This is the first I've heard of that.
Okay.
Kissing on the neck. What did you say?
in the face, like in the pool.
Once again, if I kissed her on the forehead or the cheek,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
kissing on the, gosh,
They were in the swimming pool.
Y sí, él la estaba besando como muchos besos así como muy...
And yes, he was kissing her, like a lot of kisses, like everywhere.
Ajá, so...
The face,
Oh, sí, aquí.
mouth.
Like right here, the
No,
neck
no, la
area.
boca no, pero aquí. Y a mí eso, pues
She's pointing to the neck area.
yo soy hispana, no estamos acostumbrados así.
We are Hispanics, we're not really
No sé
accustomed
cuál
to
es la
this.
cultura de ellos.
I'm not sure what the culture is.
Eso pasó.
But that's what happened.
So some of the information we also had was that you would stop by and visit the house, Jonathan and Susie's house sometimes.
Like they would stop by and visit our house, yes.
What time out? He asked you if you've been stopped at their house before. The answer is yes.
Yes,
In the same neighborhood.
in the same neighborhood.
Evening walks, Saturday walks.
Yep.
Tell them the setting.
They moved a block away from us. You know, there's a street in between us, our street and another street, and then they're here on the next street. And it wasn't uncommon for us to go on walks, public places. They would drop by our house unannounced. We'd drop by their house unannounced. Their house has cameras everywhere. You walk up their driveway and it's like, you know, front door, you're in the lounge room. There's cameras everywhere. You don't go to their house secretly. It's cameras everywhere. So yeah, I have been to their house.
Did you ever stop by and visit the kids if like mom and dad weren't there or anything?
Well, I went there. I can remember once that I went there with my son, and they weren't there, and the nanny was there. So that would count as a time that I remember. But then, I mean, we'd bump into Suzy on walks, and sometimes she'd be like, hey, she'd call them the bears. Hey, bears, you know, you go with Uncle Josh and Aunt Coco. That's what they call my wife, Rachel. Or
what?
Aunt Coco.
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
I forgot. And she would bail.
Yeah.
Other times we'd continue going. Other times, Rachel, if she needed a break from Judah, she'd say, Josh, can you take Judah to visit his cousins? Sure. I'd go around, we'd play. Judah, you know, loved being around other kids. It's just normal stuff.
Okay. Yeah, this is just questions I was coming up with for this whole thing. But I guess, is there anything that you think
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You hear a piece of information that Josh comes by our house. I think I know who that came from, okay? What do they say is wrong about that, or what do they say is nefarious about that or something, or what's the concern?
Just the visits that when the parents aren't there. I guess that's the most I'll say about that at this time.
And you remember one when the nanny was there.
Yeah, but I mean, I haven't been alone with them in their house.
And do they put many times he came by when the parents aren't there? Because they're always going to have a adult there in the form of a nanny.
Yeah.
That they're always going to. It's not like the kids are looking over themselves at that age.
Yeah, they're pretty young. So the nanny's an adult?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know anything about it.
Well, what he's asking, is she 14 years old or is she 21 years old? What he's asking. If you don't know.
I'm sure she's an adult, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I believe she had her own child.
yeah.
I believe. Don't quote. Sorry, I shouldn't say that if we're going on record. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, it's adult.
Either.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it just puts in perspective for me, but yeah, nothing much to go further on that for me right here. So you mentioned something about pictures and that you guys had taken from the room to show like the distance. Y'all still have those?
Yeah, I can get them for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Would you like that?
I would.
Okay. Not a problem.
Yeah, I think that's. Is there anything you think I should know about? I mean, you're pretty good about my questions, so anything I think I should ask about?
This room
Yeah.
is 2 rooms with a window area off each side and something on, so you'll know what you're looking at. Bed there, bed here, here's window, and he is on this bed on his his knees with his child looking out. His recollection as he looked around when he said, I still don't remember the child unclothed, is all the way over in this area with a dresser blocking from where she was, correct? Her dresser?
Where her suitcase is. I don't know where she was because I never saw her.
Okay.
Well, I saw her. I knew she was going up there, but when we're looking out the window, I have no idea where she is.
What's behind you? You don't know. Okay. So when I send them to you, you have to, we have photographs of both sides that I'll send you. You can get you can kind of visualize the distance a little bit. Okay. Is what it is, what it is.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know anything about this house, so, except for it's in Florida.
So you're now investigating homes in Florida.
You know, I mean, I go where it goes.
I want this to be thorough, so this can be done.
We will get him pictures. I will get those in next week.
I think it's a video.
That works too.
Just whatever you have,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you need me to swing by your office with a thumb drive and get a video, I have no problem doing that. So
I'll get it to you.
okay, yeah,
No problem.
You could do a Dropbox link or something.
for that too. Yeah.
And I told you he's a pretty nice guy. He won't say this, but he's been tasked with this, and he has interviews to do. He's been told to do that, so he's doing his job. And
Thank you.
are you even getting close to the end of this deal?
I still have some work to do.
Okay. Is that going to be finished in the next few weeks, next few months, next few years, next few decades?
I can't. Hopefully, it won't be the next few decades. I don't plan on being around that long here, so can't give you a straight answer for that.
And do we even have an outcry here of any kind?
Can't say at that time.
I've heard you don't. Am I stupid?
I'm not gonna say that.
I heard it. Heard it might have come from you. Okay. Have we taken her to Alliance for Children down here? Has she been interviewed by anybody?
So I can't. Like I said on the phone, I can't give you that answer yet.
See, he does cards right up close to that chest. See, that's what he does.
It's a very important thing to me. So
What else can we get you?
that's it at this time.
You know, this home, surely y'all took a few little pictures outside, you know, for the big, where you can see what I call the flanks of the bedrooms upstairs you see what I'm saying? You can probably tell it from the exterior facade of the home. Okay, well,
Yeah. Was it like an Airbnb or is it like an actual?
I think it's a VO.
Okay.
we'll get it to you.
If I get an address, then usually they have like
Yeah.
the website. You can look at the pictures and stuff. If it's a rental from
Yeah.
I can't answer too much. I know it's kind of a give and take thing, and it's mostly a take. But I get you my card. And if anything happens, like retaliation-wise and stuff, like I said in the very beginning, threats or whatever, you let me know.
Because this is serious. This is my life we're dealing with over a job. They're using me to try and get a job. And that ship has sailed, and now they're Hail Mary. This is not right. This is not justice.
So you think it's just a huge power play, and they're using you as...
I think they are so twisted and demented in their minds that they believe whatever they've...
Concoction.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they've got nothing else now. I did not do anything.
Well, see, I know you've heard all the backdrop of this, but obviously Daystar has been a very, very successful religious broadcasting company. They're in 110 countries, something like that. Yeah. And Marcus Lamb built it from the ground up, and it was a family business. And somehow, some way, Jonathan fashioned that if something ever happened to his dad, it became his to run. It was his baby. And that wasn't the way it was left. It was left with Joni running it. And so for the last 3 years, with Marcus gone, 2.5 really, he's acted like a loose cannon. thinking, when do I get to sit in the king's chair up there? It's for me. It's been made for me, and it's not happening. So they had to put him on a correction program as an employee out there, which led to, believe it or not, a termination. And I think you know this because I shared it with you out here before. I'll be damned. That's when the accusation started. He was terminated. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
But so you've been real concerned about your daughter all these years, and you didn't bother to ever tell anybody in law enforcement. Didn't bother to put it out in the media. You didn't bother to even tell your friends. You damn sure haven't reported. If they thought there's child abuse, they've already committed their crime by not reporting it. So it's too convenient for words. It's such poor timing, it just reeks. I'd love to defend it in a courtroom. I don't think I'll ever have to, but I'd love to. It'd be fun. It'd be some of the funnest cross-examinations I've ever done, because these people are nuts. It would be easy. It would be taking candy from a baby, but that's for another day.
And not to sound rough or anything, my concern is the child. No matter what, whether it's a case with you guys or a case that I get from somewhere else, it's the child. So I'm going to do my due diligence to check every avenue I can. So it could be a lengthy process.
And so I'm glad about that, because you just raised a really important point. If they're willing to put their daughter through this,
To further their own agenda.
to further their own agenda, that's easily seen. The facts are there. The story changes are there. They're all on record. Are those kids safe with them? If their parents are willing to do this, you need to take care of those kids.
Let's let him do his job. Okay. Got it. Okay.
Let me get you that card.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know it's hard for you, but hopefully that alleviates some stress for you too.
I hope you never have to go through this.
I know you do.
It is so wrong.
My card. Here's my card. So if you get any kind of threats or anything, you and your family, you don't have to worry about calling patrol. Get a hold of me via email, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. If for some reason I'm totally unavailable, I'll get somebody to take care of it for me. But
Thank you.
I'd rather handle it myself.
I don't know how to, does someone say, hey, we're about to hit you? Is that how it works? Or
Not just, I'm talking more like social media things. If people are taking pictures of you at the gym and saying, hey, he's over here or whatever. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
You're a Colleyville citizen that's in his jurisdiction, okay?
Well, that happened in Westlake.
Okay, still. It's connected to my thing. So
Okay.
I'd rather just, I know you guys, and I know the whole situation, so I'd rather handle it myself.
Hey, you have a good weekend. Thank you for making time.
Thank you.
To see the article concerning these police interviews with additional facts and details, see the link in the description. And just a reminder that the Roy's Report is viewer supported. So if you appreciate investigations like these, please visit julieroys.com/donate to make a tax-deductible donation. Again, that's julieroys.com/donate. Also, please make plans to join us for the Restore Conference this April in Dallas.
We need to be talking about spiritual abuse and religious trauma.
This is a place where it's safe for those who have been hurt in churches. It is also a place for people to learn more about how to respond to those situations, and it is much needed.
Walking into the room, even taking the platform today, felt so safe. There was no nerves, there was no anything. There is an atmosphere of support and camaraderie and love that's here.
I think that it's really become kind of a refuge. It's become a green pasture for people to come find one another. And so many times there's a solace. There is a restoration just in finding someone else that's experienced what you've experienced.
To know that there are people from all over the country, all over the world, who have experienced these same things, and they are uniting in Christ for healing, and I just think it's a beautiful experience.
It's not that we don't love the church, it's actually that we do love the church very, very much. And that's why we're having these kinds of conversations. It makes me feel less alone when I can talk with someone who's had a shared experience like that.
It was so cool to see, the room is packed and folks are eager to engage. They're encouraged, but they're also encouraging one another. And I believe that this is so good because the need is so great.
This conference is not only for those who've been victimized and hurt, but it is for people who want to be the answer now to what, sadly, the church in the last 30 to 40 years has covered up. And those who want to be on the cutting edge of how God is moving to vindicate, to show his justice, to bring his healing.
I just so believe in the power of story, and we need to unite. And so I just would welcome any survivor to come and know that you will be loved, you will be heard, you will be seen, and this is just a safe place for all of us.
We celebrate what God is doing. We celebrate that those that have been hurt and wounded by the church, that there's a place that they can come that's safe, and they can find healing, and they can find community, and they can be ministered to. We celebrate that. It is so amazing. And at the same time, we grieve that, right? I mean, how sad is it that we need to have a conference for people who have been wounded by the very place, the very institution that should be ministering healing to them?